America Meditating Blog Talk Radio Show. We collect wisdom, hear stories, and inspire each other. I'm Sister Jenna. Tune in live from Monday through Friday at 8 a.m.
This is Karina, Virginia, and I love the America Meditating Radio Show, and I love Sister Jenna. Bless you all. Enjoy.
Hello, this is Kristen Hoffman, and it is with great love, joy, pleasure, and spirit that I am listening to America Meditating Radio Show.
Hi, my name is Misty Crutchfield with Gandhi's Bee Magazine, an online magazine designed to raise awareness and inspire people about all of the amazing things happening in the world, as well as all the challenging that can help us raise awareness so we can make a difference in the world and be the change. One of my inspirations is Sister Jenna and America Meditating Radio. I listen, you should too.
Take in this moment. I, the soul, settle gently inside, behind my eyes. As I continue this journey in time, I am not the body. I am not my attachments. And I am not my material world around me. But as I settle further within the soul, I am powerful. With the power to let go, I am able to release the negative thoughts and memories that I find myself still holding on to. I recognize that the past is the past, and to bring any of it into the present is to limit my fortune for the future. Instead, I, the soul, remain positive, light, and true. I'm free from burdens or worries, trusting that with the power to let go, new experiences and beautiful experiences are attracted to me. I am greatly fortunate.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world better if you can. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world better if you can. Just try. Take a little time out of your day to give encouragement to someone
and touch somebody's hand. Classic from Dinah Ross. Welcome, everyone. It's the America Meditating Radio Show, and I'm your host, Sister Jenna, along with Sister Gita. And we are just soaring through these 11 days of healing and compassion, and the conversations have been rich. The realizations have been unlimited, and we are really looking at bringing this more and more to our narrative in the world, not just from September 11th to September 21st as we move into International Day for Peace. And this fall, the Oprah Winfrey presents the landmark television event Belief, and it's a 7 consecutive night television show that depicts how people with a wide range of beliefs search for deeper meaning and connection with the world around them. Can you imagine? And so these conversations that we're holding with compassion and healing is to build that narrative before the television series is launched on October 18th to 24. You know, we still see many divides in our world, particularly along spiritual and religious lines. And during this time, we want to keep building a better vision about what is possible in a world of deeper compassion for each other. We want to tear down those subtle walls that we're walking with behind those smiles, because we know it's a fact everyone's struggling with something privately behind their little eyes. Stay tuned. We're going to have a wonderful friend and main troubadour of the Belief movement in Washington, D.C., Miss Lyndia Grant, is going to be joining us and talking more about compassion and healing. Before we get Lyndia, why don't we go to Sister Gita and hear what her reading is for us on this glorious day. Sister Gita?
Good day, and might I say top of the morning to you with your heart of compassion and healing. I am reading from the book, Is There Another Way? Words of Wisdom from one of the world's great spiritual leaders, Daddy Yankee. Reflection on self-healing. Let's take a deep breath. I give myself time and space. I let the external rubbish fall away, and I look for my original beauty, that inner being. In silence, I discover the original pure loving being that I am. Seeing my own original purity, I then begin to love myself. I value and respect myself. I hold this vision of my original pure state of being. Acknowledging and honoring this, I also accept the mistakes I have made and the unknown that I have had, the weaknesses unknown to me that I have had. Now, with courage and determination for transformation, I let go of the things of the past. As I allow them to dissolve and fade away, I can then forgive myself. I am able to have mercy for myself. I forgive. I let go. And I can forget. As I do this, the scars and the wounds that I carry begin to heal, and the silence comes sweet. A silence filled with joy. I have started on a journey of becoming whole, of filling myself with contentment, so that the empty spaces that cause fear and anxiety within me that were there previously are filled, and there is no more space for negativity. I let it go. In my original state, I was pure. I let this knowledge emerge. I keep it and watch guard over it, so that nothing can touch this beauty and purity again. I hold love in my heart for this original pure state of being, and I resolve to use it in my life. There is another way, a life of compassion, a life of spiritual health. Om Shanti.
Space by Bliss on her UCD. Don't you feel that song? It made you move, right, into another space in your being. And then after Sister Gita's beautiful reading, we are on a massive high here at the American Meditating Radio Show, my friend. We are discussing the days of compassion and healing, the belief days of compassion and healing. From September 11th to 21st, we want to bridge the divide in our world, particularly along spiritual and religious lines. And we've got a slew of questions, but I've got someone really special on the air with me, Lyndia Grant. Lyndia is an experienced public speaker and public relations and special events coordinator, and I'm telling you, no one does it as good as Lyndia. She's been doing it for over 30 years. She's been working, and she has served as the major special events coordinator and project director for many large events in Washington, D.C. She also served as official staff for 2 presidential inaugural committees and as a seasoned radio talk show host herself. A national newspaper columnist, Lyndia is known as a change agent with national experience in speaking in the political, corporate, federal governments, and all over. Today I'd like to welcome to you a very dear friend who I've grown to be so appreciative of on our American Meditating Radio Show. Welcome, my beloved.
Thank you, Sister Jenna. So good to be here. I've been enjoying listening to the show.
Well, you sure sound calm and cool. I'm loving that.
I want America Meditating Radio, not the Lyndia Grant show. I have to direct my spirit. I have to understand about meditation and being calm and peaceful.
I know, one of the things, Lyndia, everyone thinks meditation is to empty the mind, but we continue to encourage individuals to keep the right things in your mind and empty the things that are not healthy for you. Now, you and I have been working on this Belief Team movement, and we actually came together as friends as a result of Oprah Winfrey's Network and Values Partnership, bringing us together in partnership. And
so
as
thankful.
much as me too. I've learned a lot from you, and you are learning from me, and we're talking about some serious issues here in our world. There are a lot of divisions, and I think I wanted to start our conversation off with, how has Lyndia herself sort of healed her own inner world when it comes onto her personal story?
Well, the way that I have healed my own personal world is going from within. And reading inspirational books and meditating. I can tell you that when I began my radio show 4 years ago, because it's like on the airwaves and I would have to pay to get onto the radio station, and I knew that I would have to get sponsors. But I remember waking up, setting an alarm clock every morning before I go to work and get up at 4 o'clock, which is what you do. You probably don't need an alarm, but I did. And I wanted to meditate every morning before I left. And I had a special awe meditation that I would do with Wayne Dyer every morning. And it's almost like he was saying you confuse negative energies in the universe when you just and imagine, just and you just, he's telling you what the ahs mean, and it was always something inspirational. Then he would get to a point where he would take me to seeing myself in my radio show. So I started imagining myself in the radio station having sponsors, and it just is so wonderful. So I'm delighted to connect with you, because meditation was already a part of what I was doing, not trained, just something I've been doing, just following YouTube. But then my son has been inviting me to meditation at a nice home in Silver Spring, Maryland, and it is always so wonderful. And like you, they all have nice, hot vegetarian meal afterwards for us. So I choose to go within and to begin my day peacefully. And another thing that I'd like the listeners to know is about grounding and earthing. When you walk outside in the morning with the moisture that comes in from the earth with no shoes. I don't know how many of you out there know about it, but it's been proven to improve your health and improve your moods. If you think you're having problems, you can have more peace by just sitting and relaxing or walking in the grass or along the beach with no shoes. And so that's another practice I do every day.
Well, in so many developing countries, and in India in particular, it's just natural to walk without shoes. And
Yes.
maybe just what we call in Hindi a chappal, which is like a sandal, but it's very thin and generally it's always off. And yes, I think it does massage the nerve tendons in the feet, which actually have an impact on the body. But now, let's take a look at what we have been involved with in terms of the belief movement in the last few months. We are moving towards a monumental narrative in our country, and many of us are looking at healing the world. If you have a vision for a healed world, Lyndia, what does that look like for you?
Well, for me, I would start with my own community. That is the African American community, which when you watch the evening news, there's always so much trouble. So what I have done is the world that I see that would be so much better, it would be starting at home with a lot of young mothers and fathers. I would see them working harder at teaching their own children in their homes, beginning when they're first able to speak, when they're very young and small, whatever their religious beliefs are. The earlier a child can learn about the good in him or her, the better. Evil is a spirit that can come forth easily, so each of us must put forth effort to be better. We must feel comfortable within no matter what happens. We need to teach our children how to have a loving heart and how that loving heart looks and feels. Children will not be angry and demonstrate those negative behaviors if they live in a home that's showing love. They need to understand more about that third eye, which means they become the judge and the jury, and they have a discerning spirit, and they see the big picture. Life is not always what we see. Many times when I'm a teacher and I'm in school, some of the children that the teacher might leave a note about that may be the worst, I approach them with a positive, motivational, inspirational approach, and I say so many positive things, and I never have trouble out of those students that day, because although they have been tagged as a negative student, they are looking for love. They are looking for peace. They are looking for someone to appreciate them. Spirituality can become a second nature to our children if we show them love. Acorns grow into tall oak trees. So it's the same thing with our children. If we would teach them, and that's what I see for a better America in the African American community.
Wow, that's rich, because, yes, it does start from our early years, doesn't it? And we've even heard cases of children, black, white, Chinese. They have great family values, and still something happens within the soul. And so I feel like there is definitely some soul karma going on in all of our lives, and being able to at least allow the love to come in. And I would say, and I think you would also say the same, a divine love that can enter the soul's karmic story and shift it. Now, look, there's so much violence going on, and I know that people who have done research say the world is far more peaceful today than it was thousands of years ago. I tend to differ on an energetic level. I think when I go outside, the vibrations and the thickness of algae is prominent. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. You can find it everywhere you go. So, Lyndia, why do you think we see lines of division across belief systems, in particular, faiths, spiritual traditions? They're scared to come together and just be themselves with each other. What's the reason for that division?
Again, I think I go back to people only can believe what they've learned. You know that poem, children learn what they live, or they live what they learn. If you grow up in a Baptist church and everybody around you and everything you've always heard, that becomes your reality. I believe in an improved world, a transformed world, would be where no matter how you grew up, you would look into what is going on in other worlds, which is exactly what Oprah's Belief series is doing. Even me already, I have an open mind, and I have looked at other religions, and I don't judge other religions and say mine is the only one that's correct. I would like to see more people who go to church or listen in the synagogues or whatever, monasteries. I would like to see them have a much more open mind and believe that we are all driven towards love, peace, and God. And no matter what you call your God, I would like for us to appreciate each other because of that, rather than say, well, your religion is wrong, I can't be around you. That is not love. That, to me, that is just not love. It's a very negative energy.
No, it is. It is. Have you found yourself ever amongst friends, having a conversation, and watching or observing your attachment taking over that conversation to try to prove to them that what you're saying is really right, and totally losing sight of the universal law of spiritual acceptance. Because now, what is that one step that we can take to promote healing across belief systems when we ourselves find ourselves attached sometimes to our own stories? Any thoughts, Lyndia?
Well, I just believe that we have to be change agents. I don't believe, personally, I think that we have to be change agents. We can't get stuck. Henry David Thoreau once said, I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. How many of us live our lives like Elton John's song, like a candle in the wind, just passing through with no special intent and not knowing that God has given us an assignment? We don't use our brains and our subconscious mind nor our instincts. So I just feel that I try to not be judgmental because I have an open mind and I'm living my life wanting to appreciate every person I come in contact with. Though I may not understand, that's okay, because I don't have to understand everything for it to be right. Most importantly, I don't like to cast judgment on others and say you're wrong because you're not like me. That's where I feel it's the biggest problem. We need to stop thinking, whether it's the color of our skin, whether it is the religion we serve, the way we comb our hair, the way we speak with Southern dialect, all of that we have to understand. When I had a training program at my company, a job training program with the Department of Employment Services in Washington, D.C., there were students I was trying to teach the principles to success taught by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And many of those adult students had always lived on welfare, public assistance. In my family, although I was from a family of 9 children who lived on a farm, our mother and father never took any public assistance. They always worked, and they always taught us to do the same. So here I was trying to teach these students, and they said my mother and my grandmother, and so why do you think I won't be on public assistance? So I began to talk to them about having a burning desire and having faith and specialized knowledge and controlling your thoughts and beginning to become who you think you are rather than what someone else, what you have experienced throughout your life. It took some months, Sister Jenna, but those students made that change. I believe that it all is about making a change. Like the book, Who Moved My Cheese? We cannot go through life thinking that life is going to always be the same. It is just not going to. It's not. Everything changes every day. Even a rock and a mountain changes. So we can't be stuck and believe that what we say is all, because I did research on how these rocks change. So when I make speeches, sometimes I can talk about it. It may not look like it to you, but there's change happening, and it may take thousands of years, but it's still happening. So who are we not to follow nature pattern and live our lives as if we're not going to change? So I like to live my life knowing that I am not going to remain the same and that change is inevitable, and always look at others and see what it is I could learn from them.
You know, I think that's why the Belief Team values so much, Lyndia, the spirit and the presence and the love that you bring to our conversations and to our community. And I know that you've been participating in so many conversations that are assisting, you know, the awareness to OWN's release of the Belief TV series. But now that we are, you know, in the midst of our 11 days of compassion and healing, would you like to share with our listeners some upcoming events that you are personally connected to, and leave me with a website in which they can contact you? And really, thank you so much for being with us on the air.
And thank you for having me today, Sister Jenna.
Is there a website that our listeners can get a hold of you?
Yes, they can go to www.lyndiagrant.com. That's LYNDIA Grant, GRANT.com. LyndiaGrant.com.
Lyndia Grant, we want to thank you for the service that you've been offering, and we want you to know that you are recognized. Thank you so very much.
And thank you for having me today, Sister Jenna. It's been my pleasure.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So it comes down to love. We have been having conversations with so many experts around the nation, and it keeps coming up again and again. We will heal the world if we can bring love to the table. And so love is not just this abstract idea, but it's the way in which you come forward with yourself and make things happen. And it is this love that I know will bring our story forward. You've been listening to America Meditating Radio Show. Please hashtag these conversations at hashtag Belief Days. Tweet it out to Own TV. Let them know how you've been doing. Let them know what your thoughts and your ideas are. Don't forget us at America Meditating Radio Show. We would also love to hear from you. Remember, no one can take away your happiness unless you give them permission. And we will learn to love each other the same. So let's do it. Thank you so much for joining us, my dear friends. Full song from Kristen Hoffman, Unity.
Best wake up. Will someone please remind me what world we're living in? Will someone please remind me what world we're living in? 'Cause lately all I can see is miles of pain. Lately all I can feel is all the pain. Would it be a crime to trust in light and make a choice to live in love? We fill our lives with blackened souls. We believe the lies. We best wake up. Will someone please remind me what world we're living in? Will someone please remind me what world we're living in? 'Cause lately all I can see is miles of pain. Lately all I can feel is all the pain. All the pain. Would you dare to love the world as much as your unborn child? These decisions are the ones creating a life tomorrow. Would you dare to love the world as much as your unborn child? These decisions are the ones creating a life tomorrow. Will someone please remind me? Will someone please remind me? Will someone please